This program is brought to you in partnership with the Central Bank of Nigeria. Nigeria was a very major player, big player in the cotton and textile industry way back in the 1970s. You know, we were doing so well, doing quite well. But currently right now, in that program that took place yesterday at the industrial policy launch, the textile industry is one of the moribund industries that launch was made for. How did we get here? That's the focus of our conversation this morning on Business Daily. Joining me right here in the studio is Dr. Hamman Kwajjafa. I hope I pronounced it properly.
Very well, that's okay.
Okay,
yeah, sure,
thank you. He's the Director General, Nigerian Textile Manufacturers Association. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you.
All right, now just to give you a brief, just briefly, Nigeria is once dominated Africa's textile economy, employing hundreds of thousands. Today, that industry is a shadow of its former self. Now, in cities like Kaduna, Kano, textile factories once powered industrial growth. But decades of smuggling, erratic power supply, that thing Dangote just mentioned, still at that event yesterday, and policy inconsistency crippled the sector. Now, you are a manufacturer. I won't have to go through other. You have this this personal experience being in this industry. Can you tell us how have we gotten to this place where the textile industry is now being spoken about reviving again?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. I think majorly it has been due to government policy somersaults and the neglect of the sector because of continuous interruption from military and then civilians. So in most cases, once a new government comes in, it picks up its own policy differently. There was no continuity. And so the whole thing in the industry is that it was a challenge of counterfeiting. They will now go and counterfeit our products when we are supposed to use cotton as a backward integration. And then the Asians will just use the polyester, which is their product there. And polyester is a byproduct of crude, which Nigeria produces, but then we don't refine here. So because they refine there, and then they use the polyester to produce clothes massively, and bring it into this country without any extra tariff for their coming into Nigeria. And because they got the polyester cheaper, they can sell 5 years of cloth at 1,000 naira. Ombe clothes and all this and that, they just sell it at 1,000, when the production cost in Nigeria is more than 5,000, 6,000. So this is how the textile started decimating and going under, gradually, and nothing happened.
Okay.
So this was the beginning, and so the cost of cotton production is also key. If the cotton is not available and they're bringing cheaper raw materials, definitely they will take over the market. And this is how we have gone so far.
Okay, let's talk about cotton. Currently, what's the cotton farming like in Nigeria? Because that's the major ingredient for producing textiles.
Exactly. You see, year in, year out, there's been neglect of the land. There's land degradation. You know, in most developed countries, you treat land. Just like any maintenance of car or any human being, you also maintain the land. There's no soil test. Just go and pour the cotton. Where developed countries have mastered soil tests so that you know where to plant once you have the test. And they deploy a lot of research. But our research institute in Zaria has been dormant. No, it's not working because they are not paying them research institute salaries. Because there's research salaries all over the world, clearly. So it has been an issue of brain drain. And most of the agronomists go to where they can get better salaries and what have you. So the research institute has been dormant and nothing has been done. And people continue digging on land that is not fertile or that will have high yield because nobody's digging it properly, and then also there's no treatment and no soil tests. So this is how the farmers have been suffering. Okay. And to the extent that they are now beginning to migrate from the cotton to other simpler clothes that they can get easy profit, because cotton is purely for cash crop. And this is how the railways were built in the north to transport cotton to the coast and up to the Industrial Revolution in Europe. Nigeria produced the cotton, the raw material for industrial revolution during the colonial days. But then because of no continuity, lots of policy somersaults, any government comes in and introduces its own. So the farmers got tired, and during SAP, Structural Adjustment Program of Babangida years, they felt that cotton production is a business. Therefore, there's no point in sending extension officers. But majorly these are smallholder farmers who are generally illiterate. And they will need, because cotton is scientific. And if you don't have anybody teaching you on how to grow it, you'll be running at a loss. So most of our farmers got lost because they removed the extension officers.
Okay.
Because there are people who can't read even the pamphlet. Can't read pamphlet. They have to be told how to do, how to plant, how to space it, how many seeds you are going to put in a hole, and all this. And then there should be heavy digging. So that it can go down, deep down.
Okay, so it's not a shallow kind of thing.
You see, the wind will blow the
things away.
And then these are the things that farmers need to know. And they should be weeding, and even the picking. It's called white gold. So if you don't pick it properly, you'll be picking it with trash. And the trash content also constitute pollution to the cotton. And these are things that extension officers are supposed to educate our farmers all the time. So when they produce it and they have lots of trash, they lose, because it's not pure cotton.
Okay. So basically, when we understand, the textile industry is not just a standalone, it works in tandem with the agricultural sector as well.
Value chain.
And it's a value chain that has to go well.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned about the Asian textile producers.
Yes,
Do you really think? Because you said something very important and key here.
Yeah.
We have crude oil. Yeah. We have these polyesters as well.
Precisely, that's what it is.
Do you think that we can actually match up with the Asian guys?
Yeah, as soon as this is just India. Let me tell you, they have 99 refineries and fully optional and working. We cannot even maintain 3 refineries. Not even one can we maintain as a Nigeria to maintain a refinery that can produce PMS for us directly. So we only thank the coming of Dangote, that has, as an individual, been able to build a refinery of his own, and is doing very well. And from nowhere, you start seeing people coming and having lots of strike, what have you. This man is just coming in. What happened to the dormant ones that they didn't go on strike? This is what we expect unions to go on strike for. That why is government not producing its own PMS, and we have 3 refineries and it's not working? So they are just coming newly. Why can't you support him? And let's see how far it can go.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I can see we're taking the conversation to the Dangote refinery, but let's come back to cotton and textile.
Yes, please.
Now, tell us, as someone who's in the sector, how you've been able to produce, really, let's say in the last 10 years or so.
Yes. The important thing is that there have been epileptic power supply
we're back to that.
the industry. Yes. And then the cost of production is high compared to our competitors. For instance, now, if you have to import the polyester, and you know how the dollar has been running our economy, and then all these exchange rates. So it's not easy for a manufacturer to quickly adjust to this kind of money volatility. So it becomes a problem that people cannot get funds easily. And then if they cannot get funds, then we continue closing. Until when they have the funds, they can maybe come back. But many have not been able to come back. And after today, we can just say that we have not more than 20 textile manufacturers in Nigeria. In fact, some of them are producing accessories. Some are producing bags. The 3 people that are producing real fabrics are maybe not more than 3.
In the whole of the country?
Yes, precisely. That's what's happening.
Just 3 people?
Yeah, because even Dangote started, he himself had to close.
That sector?
Because, in Kano, he had opened textile manufacturers there. And he producing fabrics. He's not making any profit. So you cannot be in business and be in charity at the same time.
What's the difference between a Nigerian-made textile and an Asian-made textile?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Because of backward integration, we have to use cotton. And cotton is all over the world cherished. as a better cloth.
Yes.
Because it doesn't damage the skin and it protects you from heat and all this and that. So, but then the polyester does that. Damages the skin, so many things and all this and that, and brings heat to your body. And but then that's the only choice we have. And you know, money in circulation is in the hand of the common man. And anything he gets, it's wearable, he can just cover himself with. And they go for the cheap materials at 1,000 per 5 years, instead of 10, 20,000 or 15,000 of those different grades in cotton. So those has been the challenges that our competitors have overwhelmed us, to the extent that they'll just come into Nigeria without a serious tariff. This is when the Americans are serious. They say America first, and they put tariff even on China and all their customers.
So you're saying that one of the ways to bring about, you know, this Nigeria first policy that the government is aiming to go at is to start, you know, putting tariffs on some of these things.
And let's look inward first.
Okay.
And until we are there satisfied, then they can open the border for people to come in, and then even put a serious tariff for them, to the extent that we have to be competitive. Because with the power sector issue, if there's something like that, this is ours. China can produce it, India can produce it. Most of the powers all over. They can produce power in industry, supply to industry, you know. So the nuclear powers, anybody that has nuclear power, most of them have nuclear powers. They can provide enough electricity to their countries.
Yes, I know, I've come across that information. Nuclear power is good for providing. However, if it goes bad, the con is way worse than the pro oftentimes. But it hardly goes bad, they say.
Yes, definitely.
Now, you were at the industrial policy launch yesterday, and textile was one of the major sectors that they want to revive.
Yes, yes.
Tell me, from that meeting you were at, what's the plan for the textile industry?
Yeah, for the first time they have this notice of power shift from just policy to implementation.
Okay.
And in that implementation, the Minister of State Industry, Senator John Ewa, has really promised, put his foot down to ensure that this policy is properly implemented. Because everybody has complained and challenged that in the past it didn't work, all policies have not worked. Because there was no seriousness. And sometimes when there's politics, there are campaigns, you don't even find people in the ministries. Because everybody's mind is focused on campaigns, to the extent that economy is closed down. So our advice to the government today is that there should be a way of putting economy different from politics. But this is what they are doing now. I think that's what the minister is emphasizing on this implementation. That definitely they will put their foot down and ensure that something is done. But there are lots of questions and challenges on that issue. Is it going to be the same thing in the past and all this and that? But he resisted and said, no, it's going to be very different. You will do something else, extra different, and ensure that this policy is implemented to the letter.
Well, as you said earlier in the program, one of the issues the textile industry has was lack of policy, integration and continuity.
Yes.
Hopefully, since this was launched in a campaign year, and he's promised, they will do their bit to see that this works.
That's our hope and a prayer, definitely.
Now, let's not use the word if, but when the sector is revived, what will be the impact to the economy?
Yeah, the thinking is that they will revive the moribund textiles.
Okay.
Well, we're giving 25% GDP to the economy, textiles alone and cotton together. So we hope to revive that sector and be able to contribute to the economy to that extent, up to 25%. Because you could see, even in Kaduna, when workers closing, you see how many trailers are moving around all over, and there was beehive of activities. So the economy was thriving. Employed people. People didn't want government work. Graduates mostly go to textiles. And this is what's happening now. You have all over insecurity because there's no job for people. So this is another area, once it's revived, maybe to drastically reduce the insecurity in the country. Yeah.
Let's just lastly, realistically, if we're supposed to do, listening to what the Minister of State for Trade has said, let's look at a 5-year plan. This will be our last question.
Yes, please.
What will be the steps that to be taken? They're saying in 5 years, the industry, if not maybe 25%, is adding about 10%, helping the non-oil GDP increase as well. What's the 5-year plan that could work?
I think they have to begin with the cotton, really, because lots of money has been injected into cotton but then we don't see anything happening because and there's also the policymakers are different, and sometimes you can introduce a CBN who doesn't have structure for production, and then you put them to be in charge of textile, cotton, and all this and that, and then the policymakers got annoyed. And they don't listen to them again because they have taken over their jobs, and CBN was doing it. This is what we are saying, that there should be no interruption and there should be no policy somersault. Police will just change anyhow and push it to another sector that is not even concerned about the project. So all these kind of things should stop, and Minister of Agriculture and Minister of Industry should be in place to ensure that these things are working, because they have the structure. They have everything working for that sector. Okay. Yes, and I hope the next 5 years or 10 years, if we continue through this way and deploy soil tests and land treatment, we'll have some change. Because look at 5 tons per hectare in China is produced for cotton. In Nigeria, it will be kilograms because the land is not properly treated, and our competitors are getting everything, and the farmers are getting tired because they are not getting anything coming from from cotton. So these things we need to work it out and ensure that our farmers profit, and then the sector will boom again as usual, and that's our prayer.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hamman Kwajjafa, Director General, Nigerian Textile Manufacturers Association. He's been talking to us about the textile and cotton industry of Nigeria, and it's quite, painful for a sector that gave us 25% of the GDP. Right now is, it's not seen, it's not been able. According to him, just 3 people in the country are manufacturing textiles. Hopefully, with this policy from the National Industrial Policy launch of yesterday, we'll see some changes and, better things on better days ahead. That's it for Business Daily this morning. I've been your host, Shamaka Omafo. Same time, same place tomorrow. Bye for now. This program is brought to you in partnership with the Central Bank of Nigeria.